What up? What up? What up? Rec League Podcast. This is episode number 20. If you've been rocking with me since I started, man, it is highly appreciated. Um, you know, I don't claim to be no professional at this. None of my homies that be on the show guest appearing claim to be professionals at this. We know enough to hold court, man. That's exactly what Rec League is, man. We're not your first choice. But it's like we the Walmart of podcasts, man. We got a little bit of everything. So you come for one thing, you come for sports, hopefully you listen to movies. You come for movies, hopefully you stick around to hear me spit a little bit of bars, man. But it's crazy because we gonna talk about my guys Nick Goodman, Eric Sigmund. We're gonna talk about the first 6 months, the year of 2019 is officially halfway over. So we're going to talk about the first 6 months in movies. And then I'm going to talk like NBA free agency, like literally just started. You might be able to catch ESPN in the reflection of my glasses. But I'm going to talk about what's rumored. I'm going to talk about what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? We might break some stuff down. And then we about to. Then I'm gonna spit some bars, man, because I got Old Man Lawrence and Legacy, and they have issues as to why they're not able to jump into an episode. Technical difficulties, or they just are unreachable. You know what I'm saying? Like life happens. Like I don't know what to say. I do know what to say about these poll questions, though. And we about to find these poll questions right quick. And because I know I did a couple last week. So I'm about to find some results right quick. Toy Story Child's Play came out last week. So my poll question was, and I think on the last episode I told y'all what I was gonna do. Toy Story 4 comes out this weekend. So what's your favorite Pixar franchise? Not just favorite Pixar movie. Like it needs to be at least have a sequel. So the choices were Toy Story, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, and The Incredibles. And if you wanted to comment Cars, that was fine too, because there's 3 Cars movies. But Toy Story won this 100%. That's all that needs to be said. And then I did Child's Play coming out. For better or worse, the Child's Play remake comes out this weekend. Which is your favorite slasher remake? The choices were 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 2007 Halloween, 2009 Friday the 13th, and the 2010 A Nightmare on Elm Street. And winning this with 50% was the Halloween remake. And Texas Chainsaw got 38. Friday the 13th got 13, ironically. And no votes for the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Super in the minority because I don't hate the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Like, I just don't hate it. I'm sorry. And then I was being a smartass, and a last minute poll I ran was, does Child's Play make opening day? Or does Child's Play, that's my bad, I misspoke. Does Child's Play make opening weekend what Toy Story will make opening day? And on a real, Toy Story made like 30 million opening day, probably more. I don't know what Toy Story made opening day, but it was more than what Child's Play made opening weekend. And no won this poll 70-30. And then for this past weekend, I said, because Danny Boyle come out with Yesterday. Like, I want to see Yesterday. It didn't come to my theater. But Danny Boyle passed on James Bond to do this movie, to do Yesterday, from what I heard. So you see Yesterday's coming out. What's your favorite Danny Boyle movie? The choices were Trainspotting, 28 Days Later, Slumdog Millionaire, and Steve Jobs. At 44%, 28 Days Later won this poll. Steve Jobs got 23, Slumdog got 22, and Trainspotting surprisingly got 11. I thought, it's like a cult classic. I thought more people would have voted for Trainspotting. And then Old Man Lawrence was on Twitter and he was trying to vouch for The Beach and other movies, Sunshine, other movies Danny Boyle's done. Danny Boyle's done a lot of underrated stuff, man. And that's gonna take me to the new releases before we jump into the movie stuff. That's gonna take me to the new releases in on Blu-ray and in the theater. And recently in the theater, like I said, like Annabelle came out. Child's Play, Toy Story came out. Those reviews are on my channel. Look for those. And then an Annabelle movie came out. Like the third Annabelle movie came out. Danny Boyle's Yesterday came out. And upcoming in between episodes, Spider-Man Far From Home comes out on Tuesday. So if you think that's coming out on like Friday, then you're gonna be late. So Spider-Man comes out on Tuesday. Midsummer, I think, comes out on Wednesday. I don't think there's a Friday release on July 5th. And then the week after that, the 12th of July, Stuber comes out with Dave Bautista and Kumail Nanjiani. That looks funny. I hope it's good. And then Crawl comes out, like the new like creature, alligator, horror, whatever it might be. There's like a flood and there's an alligator. That's all I know. I might check that out. I'm not concrete sure yet. And then by then we'll be on to the next episode of Rec League Podcast. Will be officially able to drink at episode 21. And then Blu-ray, man, honestly, like Blu-rays are kind of light. Over the past couple weeks, in between episodes, Us came out on Blu-ray, Dumbo came out on Blu-ray. I got both of those. But like there's nothing that I want to buy this Tuesday. And then the 9th of July, the only thing that I know that I want to get is the final season of Gotham. The final season of Gotham comes out, and then I think they're doing like a full series box set. But like it's a light few weeks for movie collectors. And then next episode on the 14th, I want to talk to movie collectors. So hopefully I can get a handful of people that are down to let me ask them a few questions about their movie collection, because it's a fun idea. I just need participation. And when I return, I will be accompanied by some homies, and we're just gonna talk about the first 6 months of movie releases, man. Stay tuned, Rec League Podcast, man. Okay, we about to talk movies right quick. Well, knowing us, it ain't gonna be right quick. We gonna be here probably until 4th of July. But it's the end of June, so that means the first half of the year is over, and I kind of just wanted to recap the first half of 2019, all the way since New Year's. What came out that first weekend? I know Eric knows. It was Escape Room, his top movie of the year. Spoiler alert. And then going all the way to yesterday that just came out that I sadly didn't watch. So Eric, since you was here last, since you jump into the Skype last, you're gonna start off with let's go most surprising first. Not necessarily best, but something that you didn't expect much from, and then, you ended up liking it.
I have to go with, I don't know if it's because I'm an old school wrestling fan. It's Fighting With My Family.
Yes.
That was a real pleasant surprise. I was interested in it when it came out, but I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. But that's on a smaller scale. The biggest, any scale, probably the biggest surprise to me.
Yeah, I think I missed that one in theaters, and I watched it within like the first week the Blu-ray came out. It was good.
Yes.
That came out. That was my number one for the year for like a week or two. Like, God, I don't know. But yeah, I was like, that was also probably my surprising one because just good. It was like an old fashioned, just like underdog story.
Yeah. I wonder how accurate it is. Has anybody come out and like said like tried to like say like this didn't really happen or?
Not,
I don't know.
not that I know of. I think that's and haven't heard anything.
Well, after I'm done with you guys, I'm gonna have to like hit up The Rock on my two-way and ask him like, did you pull Paige into the room right before WrestleMania?
I feel like he wasn't involved.
Yeah.
I feel like he probably had a talk with her. Like, he's like, look, we're going to make a movie about you.
Yeah.
But I have to be in it. And she's probably like, okay.
Yeah, we have to sell the movie, so who better?
And then we're going to get Vince Vaughn because our chemistry in Be Cool was off the charts.
Wow, that's true, isn't it? They were in that movie.
No, I watched that a few days ago. They were still the highlights of that movie.
Yeah.
Twinkle, twinkle, baby. But
Vince Vaughn.
Man, Nick, you checking Fighting With My Family too?
Do what? Well, it might be on there. I thought it looked really good. Like going into it, I'm seeing that for sure. That just looks good, and it was. Most surprising, I don't know if I have a single most surprising. I was surprised that Detective Pikachu wasn't trash. That like came to mind just a second ago when I looked at I just remember thinking, I was like, I can't believe this is real. Like, I can't believe they're actually like, this is what they're doing with a Pokemon movie that like people have wanted for years and years, and like this is what they did with it. So I was like real cautious, and it wasn't high art, but it was entertaining. I was into it, and like the whole, like as it went on, like the reason he talked made sense, and I was worried that he was just gonna be talking because
Ryan Reynolds,
Hollywood, and I was like, oh, and so that might take it for like most surprise. Like I was most surprised that didn't suck.
When we did the summer preview, were you serious about like knowing like all the lore and characters and all that?
Yeah. Well, like at least like the original, like I guess it was like the original 150, like the first 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
Like it was life to me. Like I knew all of it. I knew every, special moves and their names and everything. There were a couple in the movie that I think were newer or like a generation or 2 removed that I didn't know. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, but it didn't.
I thought Pikachu was cool. Like I plan on buying it, but as far as like knowing anything that was going on, I was pretty lost.
Yes, same here. Yes, I knew Pikachu and what's the other one? Squirtles. I'm lost.
I think I've heard that name.
He's a water type. He's a.
Yeah, I'll tell you. The Detective Pikachu movie. A neat nod. Mild spoilers. Well, not even. When he walked into his father's apartment and what was on the TV.
Yeah.
Home Alone.
Yeah, the Home Alone movie within the movie. That was a pretty neat nod. A lot of people.
I think I remember trying to think. There were like 2 movie references, and that was the one that I remembered in my review, and now I can't remember the other one. But I remember in Child's Play, I remember the RoboCop toy. After the Star Wars reference. I think for most maybe not most surprising, but I want to talk about Long Shot, because like I thought it looked good. Like I'm a big Seth Rogen guy, but then it was just way better than I ever anticipated, and just the chemistry between Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen was crazy. It was funny as a Seth Rogen movie usually is, and then I don't know, I just liked it a lot more than I thought I was. Like right now, it's in my top 5.
Nice. Unfortunately, the trailer was really generic, and it's like not like bad, but just in a year, man, I gotta run out.
In a year with those horrible Men in Black trailers, I'm not hating on Long Shot's trailers.
Yeah, no, it's not bad, but you know what I'm saying. It's,
yeah.
No, the Men in Black. Yeah, that's the category of just bad trailers.
Hell yeah. What we got next? Let's go most disappointing. Nick, start us off with most disappointing, like something you was excited to see and just walked out like you might not go to another movie ever.
Right.
That might be over exaggerating.
Yeah. I'm gonna do one that we were just talking about, and then I've got another one that's like on a different level. But okay, we've talked about the movie Captive State.
Yeah.
Might land on my most disappointing. Like, it wasn't 100% just horrible, but it, like, I don't know, like, all the marketing and everything for it just made it look like this big, weird, like, mystery, like, what is this all about? And it was basically never told you. Like,
Yeah.
it did, like, just watching it, I was as lost, like, leaving the theater as I was going into it. I was like, wait, I've got, like, 50 new questions. And I think I said, like, I felt like I fell asleep during the movie. Like, it was almost like I missed something. And I was like, I know I didn't doze off. Watch. There was like one or two other people in the theater, and I was like, I know, like, they would have, like, I would have noticed, like, if I fell asleep. That'll probably land on my most. Just like, it had potential and just fumbled the ball. Like, so far, I haven't seen any, like, there haven't been for me any, like, big tentpole movies that have been just disasters.
Yeah.
And this is probably gonna make people mad, but it's not, in terms of disappointing is a strong word, but the movie, I feel like everyone loved, and I feel like I'm the only one that was like, like, it was good. I would even say it was really good for, like, what it was, but I think my expectations were too high after Get Out and, like, rewatching Get Out.
Which one? Because I think you glitched. Like, it was perfect. As soon as you said the title, you glitched on my screen.
Oh, the movie Us?
Okay. You might be banned from the podcast.
No, I'm just playing. Act so hard to that. That was easy. Yeah. I would say, like, I wouldn't say I was disappointed or anything, or let down or anything. I thought it was a good movie. It's still, even with the horror movies of the year, I think it's ranking pretty high. I just think my hopes, like, my expectations were a little too high for it, and I was expecting something, like, different. So I think it's, like, worthy of mentioning, like, as far as, like, I went in there thinking, like, this is going to be it. Like, this is going to be number one. And I was, like, scratching my head kind of more than I want it to be. But it's more, I don't know. What's cool about that movie is that almost everybody that's seen it has had a different opinion.
Us has been pretty divisive.
Different out of it. So I've seen people, like, love it, like, claw their eyes out, say it was, like, the greatest thing. I've seen people just trash it. So I think it's worth mentioning that was one I had my hopes really high for, and it was kind of like.
Now let me ask you. You mentioned seeing Get Out several times, right?
Yeah.
How many times have you seen Us?
Only once. To be fair, I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Just my initial, and I even thought of that after I was like, that would probably benefit from some rewatch.
It will.
But
I want to rewatch Us.
Maybe going back, knowing what I know.
Yeah. It's definitely a movie that because it's not a very, even with Get Out at first, you watched it. I was the same way with you with Get Out. It's like, it's okay. Then I saw it 2 more times. I'm like, whoa. Yeah. We spoke about it, the nuances, the things, like you said, now you know what you know. You go back, and I think it's a better movie with subsequent viewings. And Us, which I've seen 3 times, is the same way.
Yeah, I'll have to schedule a rewatch for that. I like Get Out on the get-go. Like, I stood up, I was like, wow, that was awesome. Watched it, and I was like, you catch little things, and then, like, people online are just like, did you all notice this? And I was like,
the guy that just voiced the stuffed animal directed Us.
And I was just, yeah.
That's true.
That's a disappointing, strong word. Like, I wouldn't say I was disappointed in it, but that's been, like, one of the glaring ones of the year where, like, my hopes were, like, through the sky, and I left, like, yes, I like that. I think I like that.
Man, I'm kind of torn. I guess I can go Men in Black. And it's just, like, and I don't know, like, other pages, I think, like, most of us, like, mess with on Instagram and other social media platforms. Every time a movie that's expected to make, like, $1 bazillion makes, like $20, all this dirt comes out. Well, this was going on behind the scenes. This studio, this director. And
it's true.
Apparently, F. Gary Gray, like, almost bailed on Men in Black. And, like, you can tell. Because, like, it doesn't feel like he completely had it in. Like, Like, Fate of the Furious might be one of the lesser movies in that franchise, but it's still fun. The action is still great. And just rewatching, like, all his movies, like, even Be Cool, which is probably my least favorite F. Gary Gray movie before Men in Black, it still has elements of fun. And this was literally banking on, well, you liked them in Thor Ragnarok, so come see them fight aliens. And Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth are good, but they're not Thor Ragnarok great. And everybody talking about Kumail Nanjiani, like, he was annoying as hell to me. They were trying to, like, oh, this is the Korg for the Men in Black world. Like, man, it's not working. And I saw the plot twist coming as soon as they mentioned what was going on. I was like, okay, they're setting this up, but it's really this. And I was just like, okay, there it is.
Mm-hmm. And plot twist was nothing. Like, I called it like an hour.
And let me tell you, I'm sorry, Nick, but because of you, Randy, I didn't go see the movie. And I think it's the first review I actually got.
Word.
And it's just, yeah. And then they start rolling in. I'm like, should I really spend my money on this movie?
So you gonna let me get your Cash App so I can get your price of admission? Because I saved you that money, so help me pay a bill.
That's interesting, and I heard about that too. I don't know what it is, but now that I know it's a plot twist,
yeah.
But even if like everybody said the same thing, it's just so obvious, whatever it is.
But I didn't hate Men in Black. I think that, like...
Oh, nobody hates Men in Black, the original from 1997.
Oh, no.
Modern classic.
No.
Almost, like, my expectations for the new one were very low, that I almost liked it more than I thought I would. I think maybe now that I've watched it and, like, processed it, because it was a lot to process, more or less about what I was expecting. Like, it was pretty middle of the road. That's what's disappointing, I think, about it, because we talked about, like, most of the other ones are at least, like, good. Like, the first one's great, second one's good, I think third one's really good. So this one, it's like, comparing to those, it was very blah.
Yeah, it's like, with all the people that bash Men in Black 2, if all the movies ever just disappeared from Thanos from existence and Men in Black International and Men in Black 2 were on the table, I'm watching Men in Black 2.
I'm watching Men in Black 2 more than once a day. Like, I'm going to be like, well, that's over. Start it again.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now I really don't want to see it because I hate Men in Black 2.
Oh, man. I like Men in Black 2. I don't understand why everyone just...
Yeah, I like it for what it is.
It's not as good as the first one.
No, hell no.
That's probably the worst thing I can say about Men in Black 2. It's like, it's not as good as...
The humor for International just doesn't hit. And there's a scene, if I can paint this clear enough, Nick, you'll know what I'm talking about. But they spend, like, an extensive amount of time, like, repairing something. And as soon as it cuts to the next scene, we never see what they're working on for the rest of the movie. And that just annoyed me so much.
Just a chance for them to, like, talk.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a bonding moment. Don't worry about this thing anymore.
Fine, it worked, but it was like, it wasn't exactly Iron Man and Nebula repairing the ship.
Yeah.
We know why they're doing that.
Right.
All the enjoyment in Men in Black comes from Tessa Thompson, in my opinion. She's great.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest positive. Like I said, like you saw my review, Eric, man, that's the biggest positive I can give the movie.
Yeah, they even like Chris Hemsworth character. Like, the whole movie, I was kind of like, why is he supposed to be this?
The man,
but
acting
like this. And she even acknowledges it in the movie. And they don't really do anything with it. But I was like, well, at least she acknowledged it. Like, at least, like, why is he supposed to be like this kind of person? And he's acting like this kind of person. It was almost like he said, it was F. Gary Gray. It was like he was a director for hire. Almost like, I think of like Kevin Smith doing Cop Out. Like, that's always like, not bad. Like, it's really not bad.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like anybody really could have just sat there and been like, all right, cut.
And that weekend, like with that weekend, I swear, like F. Gary Gray and Tim Story just should have switched jobs. Like F. Gary should have did the Shaft reboot, and Tim Story should have did Men in Black. Who knows if either movie would have improved? But
it's interesting.
I like Shaft.
Yeah,
I might put that on my surprisingly because I laughed my ass off watching
I did too. I thought Shaft was fun.
About don't watch how the sausage is made or whatever, and he was just like, "What the fuck does that mean?" Like, I was like sitting there like I don't know. That was just one of those that I was just like, "Oh, Shaft is coming. Let's watch Shaft." Like I didn't expect to. Maybe put that on my most surprising. Just rewise.
Hey. We're getting ahead of the game. Let's let Mr. Sigmund talk about his disappointments.
Yeah,
no, that's I probably would want to talk about Shaft, the movie I'm about to bring up, and it seems to be more so than the last few years. The constant is bad movie, like you said, Randy, behind the scenes trouble. Bad movie behind the scenes trouble, and most disappointing, Hellboy.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere else.
I thought you were too.
I was up here like, no, the X-Men.
And I was thinking about going Dark Phoenix, but that's just too easy. And no, but Hellboy is, you could tell when a movie, even when it doesn't make a lot of money and it's good, you can tell when a movie is a labor of love and it's all on the screen, even behind a big budget like Avengers. You could tell it was with all of the, everything that's on the screen. I went to go see the re-release, and it still doesn't feel like a 3-hour movie, but Hellboy was just a mess.
Now I need to know what was the new stuff in Avengers though.
Well, a little side note with that. People seem to be confused with that. It's not a director's cut. It's not extended. It's extra footage. All the extra footage is at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
After the credits, and there are little seconds of added, like when Peter Parker and Ned, when they see each other at high school, it's like extended by 3 seconds, but that's the type of silly stuff I noticed.
Wondering, do they kiss?
I wanted to say that.
But it was just good to see it again. But
so when Far From Home starts, they'll still be hugging.
It's basically like they do the handshake for 2.5 extra seconds. But anyway, back to Hellboy. Now we speak about expectations, Nick. You were talking about, and I try to go into every movie I watch with, no matter how much stuff I hear, I try to go in on an even plane, and whether it's Child's Play or a remake, whatever. And Hellboy, it was just very, very. It's like, man, they should have just gave Guillermo the money to make his third movie.
That's exactly why I feel like nobody watched this one, because it was one of those like Twitter, not my Hellboy. It's not Ron Perlman. Yeah. I'm not going to see it. And
I didn't go in like that. I like David Harbour, right?
Yeah.
That's his name.
Yeah.
Sheriff Hopper.
Good acting. I was excited to see what he wanted to do with the character.
Address him by his proper title. It's Sheriff Hopper.
There you go. And that's his signature character now.
All right.
But Hellboy was, that's the disappointing. Disappointing with a capital, all caps. Skip capital D. And I came out like, mad. I haven't. Dark Phoenix, I expected to not be good, but I didn't let that bother me. I went to go see it anyway. But Hellboy, with the director of it, I forget his name, directed some awesome movies.
Neil something.
Neil Marshall.
There you go.
And even without knowing any of the behind-the-scenes crap that went on, and how we're into movies, being movie buff, cinephile, or whatnot, it's certain things we see, and you could tell something was wrong. And that just spilled off the screen for me. And even without that, the movie was just like discombobulated, and it just wasn't entertaining. It's like, man,
yeah,
I could go all day. It was very, like, keyword disappointing. Like, damn, you go out the theater, see a random person, like what the fuck you looking at? It made me mad like that. That's like, man.
Yeah, what?
But that's my answer. And Hellboy, the hell with Hellboy, the remake.
I didn't like Hellboy was another one that my expectations were not high, so I can't say I was let down by it, but it's pretty low in terms of like I love the originals. Like, I thought the first Hellboy was great. I thought the second Hellboy, to me, like I think I put that on a pedestal. Like, more than the other. Second Hellboy movie is so good to me. So
Guillermo with comic book second parts, Blade 2, Hellboy 2.
Yeah, it was like he did Pan's Labyrinth, so they were like, all right, we'll pay you way more money and like let you have more free reign if you just promise you'll make a Hellboy 2. And he was like, yeah. And he like did it, and it was more fantasy stuff. Like I like melted over Hellboy 2. Like I can't, like it's so good. So I was already like, I'd rather not have a new Hellboy movie than not get a Hellboy 3. Like I was already like in that boat. Like I was like, I just don't even want this. But I saw it and like it was almost like it was just like they were trying to be more like the comic book, like as much as possible, like trying to be darker and like more violent. And it was almost like too much of a good thing. Like it just ended up being a mess.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to the Punisher Warzone movie. Like let's do it different than the first time we did it, and it was just like let's throw everything we can at the fan and just see what sticks to the walls.
Yeah, and when the fan is broken, throw some more stuff at it.
I didn't hate, like there were definitely parts of it that I liked. Like I liked when he was fighting the giants. Like I remember thinking that was dope.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But like
it wasn't.
Yeah, spoiler, he fights giants. Yeah, wasn't great. Like it wasn't a great argument to remake Hellboy. Like I was like, you could have just not done that.
Yeah. And yeah, but yeah, that's it for me. Just Hellboy.
I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't really want to start like worst either, because I haven't seen like I said. I think I said off wax. It might even be at the beginning of the show. I haven't seen anything that I've just outright hated. And my initial Child's Play reaction has gotten a bit nicer. So I'm going to repeat Nick's most disappointing and just say my worst of the year is Captive State. It didn't come to my theater, so I bought the Blu-ray. And I'm kind of starting to think that Rupert Wyatt just might still, 8 years later, be coasting off Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Because this trailer looked like alien invasion madness. And aliens are in 2 scenes. I counted. The first scene, the initial invasion, and then there's like one scene where it's like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, you're getting attacked by a big bush, and then it's like you don't know what side John Goodman's on. The kid from Moonlight is like kind of like a freedom fighter. And I don't even know if that's really what happened because it was a difficult movie to follow.
Yeah. That's like, and it's like, it's not like a asses in the seats cast, like, but it's good cast. Like, you got John Goodman, Vera Farmiga, and dude from Moonlight, who was great in the movie. He was the middle kid.
Let's call him Ashton Sanders because that's his name, and stop calling him the dude from Moonlight. Sorry, I started that.
Moonlight. He was so good in Moonlight. I thought he was good in Equalizer too. And like D.B. Sweeney was in Captive State. I was like, where has he been for 20 years? He was there. So I was like, okay. And it's like they were all like John Goodman is like it's almost like he's doing King Lear or something. Like he's just acting the hell out of this movie.
Yeah.
That does not make sense.
But he was also in The Gambler with Rupert Wyatt too, so like they have some type of bond relationship.
What script did he read that he was like, oh yeah, I'm blah, 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 blah. He's like super into this character and like doing these things that's super dramatic, get in the car and all this, and I'm like,
a portion of that impression was spot on.
It was. He's my uncle, so it's like
this comes natural.
The John Goodman is what I call him, but it's like it's the whole thing was like so dramatic. Like every time he'd go into her apartment or whatever, she'd be sitting at the piano or whatever the fuck, I don't remember, and she'd just like look at him, and it was so dramatic, and I was like,
until the end, Vera Farmiga had no purpose in that movie.
no, like he's just like rubbing her face, like we can't do this.
Yeah,
this egg, and on the side, I was like, do what? Like, what are you doing?
And
there is.
I swear, before they filmed the end, somebody like just got a light bulb. Like she's done nothing. Write this.
Shit.
It works.
Like I said, I won't say it was horrible. Like I feel like there's artistic value.
Yeah.
And like maybe I need to rewatch it. Like maybe I missed something, but it was like the whole thing. I was kind of like, it's just like it's like a beautiful plate with nothing on it.
Mm.
Jay said,
basically,
it's a good plate with nothing on it. Like, yeah, it's very low on my.
I'm telling you, like I think he had help with apes. Because between the Gambler and Captive State, it's just like, dude, why do I care about these characters? Like, why do I care about a dude who pisses away all its money? And why do I care about this alien invasion that has no aliens?
I don't remember the Gambler almost at all. I fell asleep watching that movie 2 different times. Oh. I can't say I hated it because I remember like getting through it. Yeah. I remember him talking. I remember him like being in front of the class, like Mark Wahlberg-y and like leaning on the desk and talk. That's what I remember from the Gambler.
That's what it was.
I think Brie Larson was in his class, if I'm not mistaken. There it is.
Yes.
Gambler, 2014.
2014, the remake.
That's it. Spoilers.
Okay, we've talked enough about Captive State for this entire episode. So...
Available at Redbox now.
Shameless plug. Nick, your worst of the year. Go.
Okay. I don't know if I talked about it on here, but we have talked about it. Has anybody in the world seen the movie Serenity with Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway?
Spoiler alert, that's my number 1 favorite.
Shit. Well,
psych. Haven't seen it.
And you mentioned it before, and
I want people to see it.
Psych.
It's one of those.
Haven't seen it.
It's like, this is so bad that I feel like it was intentional, and I kind of want people. It's like The Room. It's like I want people to see this because there's no way they thought that this was going to be good. Like, there's no way they wrote this script and these Academy Award winners read this script and were like, "Yep, this is it.
This is my Men in Black International." I thought these trailers looked good, but because of you, I'm not seeing this movie.
I beg you to watch it. Like, I don't think you'll be like, wow, I wasted my time. Because, like, to me, that's not a waste of time. It's like I'm watching a movie that I'm interested in. But it's like, holy shit. Just like, and I don't know. Like, there's a part of me that I feel like, retrospect, like, down the line, somebody's going to be like, yeah, I wrote this as a joke. I wrote it because Hollywood is taking itself so seriously. And I want to be like, nope, no, you did not. You thought this was going to be this profound thing. And it was ridiculous. Like, it's so stupid that my mouth was like.
If it pops up on something like Netflix or HBO that I'm paying for already, I might sit through it.
I want more people to watch it.
I'm not gonna blind buy or rent this ever.
Don't buy it. That's I bought Captive State. Like, Captive State to me was like a 2.5. I was like, I'm not gonna regret putting it on my shelf. Like, I'm like, Captive State. I passed right over Serenity. Like, I was like, nope. I don't care who's in it.
I think when that Tuesday came around, I was like, damn, he didn't buy Serenity.
Hell no. Like, I was like, no, I haven't bought Holmes and Watson yet because it was just not good. But because of who's in it, I've always thought, it seems weird that I don't have that.
Yeah.
So if I ever find that super cheap or at like a thrift store or something like that, I'll probably buy Holmes and Watson just to have it on the shelf. I can't spend $20 on it.
Yeah, like Holmes and Watson is trash, but because I have so many Will Ferrell movies, it just felt weird to not grab it.
That's where my thought process is. I'm like, it feels weird to not have it. Like, if I ever did a marathon or something, I don't know. It feels weird that I don't have that. I will never buy Serenity. Like, I will never watch that for any kind of...
No Anne Hathaway, Jason Clarke, Matthew McConaughey binges going on that Serenity will be necessary.
Hey, you saw it in theaters, Serenity.
I did. I walked right in there. A bunch of old people, too. And it's, like, rated R. And it's a bunch of like older folks who probably like, oh, this looks like a nice little movie about. And holy shit,
Matthew McConaughey's about to murder his ex-girlfriend's husband, who abuses her.
It looks like this like pulpy like noir movie, like ooh, slinky Anne Hathaway. That's a good Anne Hathaway, like ooh, like Ben Patel Anne Hathaway. Nope,
indeed,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's just ooh, sexy fisherman McConaughey. Like oh, we haven't seen him for a while. Nope, it's just
so The Hustle is the better 2019 Anne Hathaway release.
Yes,
without
like,
question,
significantly, and that's bad. Like that's not that.
Wow.
Like by an entire like star and a half, I think. Like,
I just checked. It's not streaming anywhere, so I guess we'll be waiting a while. Serenity. Well, it's not streaming for free like Netflix or Prime or whatever.
Formerly Chicago resident, now somewhere in Texas resident, Eric Sigman, worst of the year.
That's pretty easy.
X-Men Dark Phoenix.
It's gonna be Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix overtook Escape Room.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Escape Room. I'm track.
And that's why Dark Phoenix overtakes. Escape Room is the thing with Escape Room is I think potential was wasted. They could have done more with it.
It's January horror.
What's that?
It's January horror. I mean,
yeah,
take what you get.
What killed me with Escape Room is that ending. It's like what the hell is going on? And I see that's a post-it note.
That Independence Day Resurgence ass sequel setup.
Yeah, exactly. It's a post-it note. It's definitely. I'm willing to bet that it was a reshoot. Like we gotta. But no, Dark Phoenix is just no excuse that that's what that was. And no, that's horrible. I think I want to go back and lower the rating that I gave it. Probably 0 stars. And
it's not that bad.
Man. Man, what's no? This no, it's not 0 stars. I take that back. It's but no, it's I haven't. Yeah, even worse than now. Hellboy. We talk about disappointing. Hellboy is just disappointing with the people involved, Neil Marshall but yeah, Dark Phoenix is. I think I can't think of anything that's the worst. Yeah, the hell with like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Conan, that movie, The Hell with You.
It makes me like wonder like what's wrong with like should I even do this anymore? Because like I kind of like Dark Phoenix. So, I'm like I need to be doing this.
I swear, yeah.
The actual character of Dark Phoenix, I like the character.
Yeah.
I swear, yeah. If I hear somebody like completely just wipe their ass and flush with a movie that I didn't completely hate, I think it's just something wrong with the way I watch movies.
Yeah.
But man, it's like everything. You go back and I guess I don't think I am dissecting it too much. Jessica Chastain.
She was wasted.
How do you? This is what I wanted to show you. Look at it. I mean,
a better impression than Nick's John Goodman.
Did she just wake up? It's like I got this scenario in my head to where her agent gave her a call. Hey, we got an easy $5 million for you. Come get up. Where's the script? Forget the script. Let's go to the set.
What's the script? Get over here.
Yeah, and because her performance is, I understand she's supposed to be like an alien being and all that with the no emotion, but this and that, but I've seen those type of characters done a lot better. And Jessica Chastain is who she is, a great actress.
She'll redeem herself in September.
Exactly. Her and McAvoy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
McAvoy got glass though. McAvoy was like, man, I don't play like 27 ass characters this year. Leave me alone.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he was in a man. That's right. But yeah, I have to go with Dark Phoenix. Is just and you know when the director himself comes out and say, yeah, I screwed up.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm bashing it too much.
Yeah, well, he kind of had to. I feel like Singer would have done the same thing. It's like, hey,
I honestly think Singer don't give a damn. I don't think he would have.
Yeah, Singer made like 3.5 great X-Men movies. Like, do we feel like because of the merger, like everybody, even like common basic ass moviegoers who don't even care, was just like, this is the last one. Why go see it? Disney's gonna redo it all anyway. There were so many factors into the failure of Dark Phoenix.
That's true enough. But if I was, Kingberg, I would have like, look here, knowing that fact that, look, I'm going out on top. You know what I mean?
After he tried to do Dark Phoenix over 2 movies, and Fox was like, nah, bruh. I would have just bailed on the whole thing and just redone a X-Men 4.
Right, yeah, just bail on that story. The story can't be done in one movie.
Yeah. You
should have learned your lesson the first time. And when there's so many other stories you could have went with in the X-Men universe that you could have told in one movie.
With Omega Red as the villain, because he's the one villain that hasn't really been in a movie that I've wanted in a movie. Deadpool 2 does not count.
There you go. Yeah, I give you that. But yeah, it's a sad note for the 20th Century Fox X-Men to go out on. What do you think? I mean, Nick, how about this? Can you recommend a movie to somebody? Would you ever?
Dark Phoenix?
Yeah.
Everybody that I meet, I would say, go see Dark Phoenix. Great.
It's about to be out of theaters completely.
If I was like recommending one X-Men movie, no. Like, not at all.
If you had to recommend 3 with Dark Phoenix,
probably.
If you had to recommend 5.
Like, the post-in-game hype for Dark Phoenix just was not there. Like, it was never...
Yeah, it's like, this...
Like, even when, like, Avengers came out, like, the first one, The Amazing Spider-Man came out, like, a couple months later, like, a month or 2. Mm-hmm. And, like, even that, like, at the time, it was like there was hype for it, even though it was a separate thing, and it was kind of like shoulder shrugs and like, oh, maybe people were still like, well, it's a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
We're still not getting these as,
right.
often as we get, so we got to take what we can get. And like, that's just not there anymore, I don't think, for people. Like, it's like, if I don't go see Dark Phoenix, I'm just going to get Spider-Man in a couple weeks. It's like, or Far From Home. It's like, if I skip Dark Phoenix, I can just go see Far From Home in a couple weeks. It's like, it didn't used to be like that. I think that's why Amazing Spider-Man 2 was not as big as they thought, because it was kind of like, it's another Spider-Man.
Smack dab in between Winter Soldier and Days of Future Past.
Yeah, it's like, we got all this coming out. It's like, I don't really need it. So I just feel like that's, and maybe Hellboy to a certain extent. Like, people are just like, an Endgame coming out. I'm not going to see fucking some Hellboy. Like, Captain Marvel just happened. It's like, I'm not going to see Hellboy now. I got Endgame coming. Save my money.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like hit Dark Phoenix more than even Fox wants to like admit. It's just they could not get the hype up for it, like, other than like diehard X-Men fans, of which there's like 6. It's not Deadpool, so they were just like, yeah, this will be it. That plus the whole like, this is probably it for all of them. People just skipped it. Shame. But yeah, they should have thrown out the whole script and just polished it up.
Ooh. Where we at, Bet? We on the last one now? We on best now? Do any of the 3 of us have a best that didn't get re-released the last weekend? with additional footage.
Yeah.
Like, I got my top 5 written down on a jank paper.
Mix it up, you want to talk about a different one?
I got an idea to mix it up.
What's up?
How about most overlooked or underrated? Like a good movie that you think a lot of people didn't see for whatever reason. Because I got one interesting one.
Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix.
Go ahead, start us off. Since
all right.
Endgame is everybody's favorite.
All right, let's see.
There it is.
No, okay, so this movie is a sequel, and it's real interesting. A lot of people, I would assume, didn't like it because, I guess it's a mild spoiler, it kind of switches genres.
I know where you're
the
going.
First movie
I know where
to
you're
the
going.
And I think they did a good job with it. And I think the story as a whole, it had actually some nice emotional punch in the middle when the lead characters reunited with a person who was previously not there in the first movie. Now I'm talking about
Wait. Oh. Nick, you know what he's talking about?
We just said it. So.
Oh, you heard him?
Yeah. He probably. Or did you? Did you have a clue?
No.
Yeah. So Happy Death Day to You, the sequel to Happy Death Day.
I really liked Happy Death Day.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think it came out. But I don't think the promotion was as good as the first movie.
Nah.
No.
And like
it just
February was uncharacteristically stacked too.
Yeah, that's true. And it was it was just like a hiccup. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot this was out. And I was speaking about swapping genres. It basically went from a slasher horror movie to a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and
like Rick and Morty or something like that.
Right. And I think the genre swap was kind of jarring, and people didn't expect it. And I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it more than it was like a lot of people didn't like it. I think they couldn't follow all the stuff.
Right.
And
obviously not fans of Flash.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I was talking about the emotional stuff. I mean, it was really good with her being reunited with her mother and that little stuff. She had to say goodbye. Yeah. I'm like, man, that's for this type of movie. That's some really heavy stuff, and it was done well. And they still kept it was still a slasher technically. They still had that aspect of it, and just the fun that they had with the alternate dimension or whatever. They really did some awesome stuff with it. And to have other movies come out this year that is probably number one on our list with alternate timelines. It held its own as far as telling a story about that. And I think it's unfortunately got painfully overlooked.
Especially like with the Blumhouse, it's almost like those come out and it's almost like guaranteed to make money, even if it's not like huge.
Yeah. But like Rain said, it's just they just chose a really bad release because February was stacked.
Yeah.
And then, like, right before it came out, like, wasn't it, like, the anniversary of, like, a school shooting or something? They had to, like, real quick, like, adjust that release date by a day or two?
Yeah, it was just bad, unfortunate timing.
Yeah, it was fun. I hope they make a third.
Yeah.
I would
even
third movie, like,
and you can see, because
like that mid-credit scene or whatever it was silly.
Right. They would just, you see how much fun they were just having with the movie. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the third, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen because, unfortunately...
all that money's going into the next Halloween.
Yeah.
They're going to make Ma, too, or some shit. And it's like... Yeah. I think they spent, if I'm not mistaken, I could be just wrong, but it was, like, a little more expensive than the average Blumhouse movie, wasn't it? Like, at least in terms of, like... I don't know. Like, it was just bigger than the first one. Like, they took the time... slasher and then like made it bigger. I feel like they don't want to invest more than like a couple $1 million. Like that's like their shtick. Like we make a movie for $7 million, and if it makes $10 million opening,
then to win,
right. So here it is. I had to look it up. It's not bad. The budget was only $9 million, but
it's still made over budget, but it just didn't make what the first one did.
Yeah. I guess it's technically probably a hit. I mean, like recouping his budget back,
hope.
But and the lead actress in the movie, I forget her name, and she's just great.
Oh, I know her name, but I can't think of it now.
Jessica Roth.
There it is.
There you go.
There it is.
And she's awesome. I mean,
yeah, she's good.
It's crazy that she's 30 years old. But no, that's my best, I guess, overlooked or underrated movie so far.
Nick, you got one?
Yeah, so I like wrote down my whole top 5. Like I didn't know what we were doing. My number 2, I think, it's Booksmart, which I think a lot of people didn't get to see because it didn't come to their theaters.
Yeah, it didn't come here. Yeah.
It chose a wide release like right up against John Wick, which was a stupid choice in my opinion. Like, they should have had a slow rollout and like gained some word of mouth and
released it against Dark Phoenix.
Yeah,
that probably would have worked.
But I don't know. Like that movie just did not hit. I think the way that they thought it was going to hit, kind of like one of the sleeper comedies of the summer. Like it just didn't. But it's so good. Like it really is. Like all the hype for it is warranted, in my opinion. It's really easy to compare to Superbad because it hits a lot of the same notes. But there's a lot of movies like that, like teen comedies, like going to a party before graduation, like the whole thing. Like it's been done before, but just the characters and like the things they get into and like the reasons why they're friends and like have stuck together for so long. Like it's really good. It's currently my number 2. I've only got 2 movies of the year that I've ranked like 4.5. It's like almost perfect.
I plan to buy it and hopefully have the opposite reaction than I did with Capture State.
Yeah, I think like you won't be all confused at the end and be like, I don't understand anything.
Why did they party?
Why was that happening? They were going to a party.
Why did Olivia Wilde direct this?
Yeah, but no, I don't know. I think they thought releasing it, just wide would be a good move. Like it would guarantee like make more money, and it was just one of those instances.
Memorial Day weekend, party weekend. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's currently my number 2 movie of the year, and also maybe my most overlooked in terms of like everyone. Like everyone kind of skipped that and went and saw, Avengers again, or went and saw John Wick or whatever.
Aladdin.
Yeah.
I can say Missing Link. I can say The Upside. I can say Brightburn. I think I'm going to go with Alita Battle Angel. Because it was better than I thought it was. I thought, what's her name? Rosa Salazar was good as a title character. And it was like one of the Robert Rodriguez directed, James Cameron. This is actually the movie to blame. Like if we going back into, reports and all that, this is the movie that bumped Dark Phoenix for the second time back to June. And the effects were cold. Like I walked out like I hope this gets a franchise. Now that Disney owns it, I don't see more movies coming out. But I thought it was good.
I was super into Alita Battle Angel until the end. Like I was so into I was like even like catching myself. I was like, this is bugging. Like this is good. And then it just kind of stopped. Like the movie just kind of ended. And I was like, wait, what? Like that was it? Like the song's playing, and I was like, that was the end of the movie?
Did you all catch it in 3D?
Did I?
I think I did.
It was in stacked February. I don't remember.
That's true again, yeah.
IMAX 3D.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it in IMAX 3D, but and as always, anything 3D James Cameron related is awesome. And
oh yeah.
Yeah. And I hear you about the ending. It was
it was like,
but you know what they're trying to go for. But at the same time,
you can't just chop. It was like they had more of an ending, and they were like, no, cut it here. And they were like, we got it. She's going to do a badass walk or something. They were like, no, stop.
Wait. This actor is walking down the street. Let's put him in one scene and set him up for the next one.
Yeah. It was like...
Yeah, it is. And speaking of Alita, I know you all saw From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yes.
Another Robert Rodriguez movie.
Long time ago. I plan on rewatching it before. Like, I'm doing this massive, stupid, overly long Quentin Tarantino marathon. It'll be in there.
There we go. Now, I asked that question because did you notice the bar in Alita Battle Angel?
Was it the Twister?
No, it was. If you look at the bar, it was the same design as in From Dusk Till Dawn. It's the same bar.
I don't remember
I like it more because that's like a really cool.
I remember a badass fight. Like Jeff Fahey and Ed Skrein and a lot of characters were in that fight.
Right. But how was the numbers for Alita Battle Angel? I haven't really
It
because
didn't
it
make
wasn't a
100.
flop.
It's
I hear this back and forth. Like,
it topped out at like 80 something.
Which is like okay, but like probably not what they wanted.
Not anywhere near what they expected.
I've heard like different things. I heard like when Dark Phoenix came out and they were talking about how disappointing it was. I read a thing that compared it to Alita. Like back when they were like, it hasn't even made what Alita Battle Angel made in 2 weeks, and I was like, is that bad? Like,
right.
Whoa.
Alita. And there was something about the home video release. Like, I think it got like something got screwed up. That's why it's not coming out till July, even though it was out in February.
Yeah, for a February theatrical release, it's taken a long time for it to come on Blu-ray.
Yeah. There was some reason.
Yeah, that's almost 6 months. Yeah,
I read it, but I don't trust Instagram like news people, as we talked about.
Sure don't.
I read that something like there was kind of maybe to do with the merger, maybe like, but there was some reason why it's not coming out till July. But anyway, here we are.
I was wondering though, since
since
Disney's taken over, will like everything that comes on Blu-ray post merger will have the stupid like multi-screen format cover art and all that? I don't think Alita will.
It's so cool.
No, I still hate it. It's been like 2.5 years. I still hate it.
It's multi-screen edition though. Like you can watch it on Blu-ray and DVD. As if we haven't been doing that for.
Nobody's gonna do that at the same time. Stupid Disney.
We've never put out the Blu-ray combo packs.
But yeah, Alita, that's a good one. This wasn't a bad movie.
Nah.
And directors like Robert Rodriguez, I really like him. You want to pull for that type of filmmaker.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. This is the first movie I think where he hasn't done 18 jobs because he only directed it. Which is funny.
Speaking of James Cameron and 3D, like we better get transported into these Avatar sequels as long as they've come out. Like either the theater better turn into Pandora, or we better turn blue and have tails and be able to connect those tails to animals to ride.
Think of something because 3D sort of jumped the shark now.
Oh, yeah.
It's just kind of like it's like theater. It's like my IMAX theater. I haven't seen an IMAX 3D movie in my theater since Endgame, and Endgame only had one 3D showing a day.
Wow.
Like 3 or 4 other showings a day that were just 2D. Like I haven't seen Endgame in 3D. I would have ponied up the IMAX 3D. To me is worth it because it's the same price. I don't go see a lot of regular 3D movies.
I avoid it if I can too.
Yeah. And the thing with that is, I'm surprised it went under the radar as much as it did. Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame are the only movies shot 100% with IMAX cameras.
Yeah.
Every single frame.
Worth it.
And I think, Nick, you said about 3D jumping the shark. And I think I agree with you 100%. And what led to that...
I agreed in 2010.
There you go. And what led to that is, because that started happening a lot after that, the first Avatar. Like, ooh, wait a minute, we could put a extra surcharge on the ticket. Let's convert every freaking movie into 3D and let's do it half-ass.
Yeah.
Make it look like crap. And then you miss the actual movies that took their time to film in 3D and make it look like Gravity. Has anybody seen Gravity in 3D?
Did I see? I don't know if I saw it in 3D.
No.
I'm still
And it's one of the best.
Sorry.
Now, and what was awesome about that is, and people, okay, it's in space. How can they make 3D? And they fucking did it. It's one of the best 3D movies I've ever seen. A close second to the first Avatar. And one of the better 3D movies, believe it or not, shot in 3D, a comedy. Harold and Kumar.
Yes.
Christmas.
You took my answer.
Yeah.
I was gonna my two coolest 3D experiences, and y'all are gonna laugh, It's Harold and Kumar when the smoke rings came out the screen, like it was like real 3D, and then Saw 3D when he's like glued to that car seat, like tongues were flying out. I remember sitting in the theater and I had to juke when the tongue came out. I was like, oh shit.
Harold and Kumar, because it was like intentional, like they would like
right,
and it was like
it was parody, like, but then again, it was good.
Yeah,
yeah.
A very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas.
Yeah. Because I saw talk about bad 3D conversions. I saw the first Thor, and imagine Asgard. This should look great, right? It was like, we've all seen 3D movies when you take the glasses off, and it's like, okay, this is flat, and this is a horrible conversion job. And this amazing place, with the bridge, and just that should have been the most awesome thing in 3D ever, and it wasn't. It was horrible. But yeah, the 3D has definitely jumped the shark. But you speak of the new Avatar. I have a gentleman's bet with a friend of mine, and he said James Cameron is cooking up something. He said he's gonna make 3D without glasses.
I may have heard that. It makes no sense, but I may have recently heard that.
And he think it's gonna reclaim the highest grossing movie. I'm like, okay, I'll take that. Gentleman's bet.
Yeah, I'd take that bet too, because like when Avatar was phenomenal in 2009, but like Avatar, like as good as Avatar is, and it still is, like there are a lot of people who like consider it like a joke and a punchline now.
Yeah.
And it's gonna affect, like, as long as it's taking these sequels to come out, that's gonna affect the box office for the sequels.
Also, like in 2009, like there were not a lot of 3D, at least like in my theaters, like they weren't showing every movie in 3D. Like I remember Up came out and people talked about, oh, I got to see Up in 3D and it was amazing. And I was like, oh, that would probably be cool. Avatar might have been the first theatrical just movie that I saw in 3D. Like it might have been. Like I'm trying to think of something for that, and I got nothing. So like that was like a big part of Avatar's shtick. Was like, you have to go see this in 3D. You have to see this if it's in your IMAX theater. And I didn't have an IMAX theater in 2009. So it was like more people that did, I think, flocked to it. It was like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime event. This is happen with every single movie that follows this. And, of course, it did. So it's like, they're going to have to do something to make it feel like...
And about Avatar, we were talking about the the experience in 3D as far as it was 80% of all the showings of Avatar were 3D.
That was like, and it was almost like you didn't have a choice. Like I remember going to see it in 3D and like my sister got sick and I was like, awesome. Like I was like, this is so worth it.
And but, there's a reason why the movie made as much money as it did, Yeah.
This idea, like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, like...
Until it becomes every week.
Yeah. Like, maybe did anybody ever go see the Rugrats movies, like, back when they were in theaters, and they got the scratch and sniff thing? Where it was, like, the little thing came on the screen, and it was, like, he was eating a banana, so then you scratched your banana and sniffed it, and it was like, oh, it's like I'm there.
No.
You do that with the Avatar sequel.
But I remember the first 3D movie I ever saw was 1991.
Freddy's Dead.
Yep, Freddy's Dead. The last 10 minutes was 3D, and it was the old school stereophonic red and blue lenses.
Yeah.
And it was just interesting, but
amazing how long that lasted. Like those like red and blue. I remember it might have been. You know what? Remember Spy Kids 3D?
Yeah, that Spy Kids and
Mill thing too, if I'm not mistaken. But I missed it. But that's all that was. But I remember buying the DVD for that and just sitting home and watching it with the fucking paper glasses, just being like, the future. This is it.
Yeah, and I think Spy Kids was probably one of the first movies to do. I'm not sure what the process is. It wasn't the stereophonic. I think the crystallized glasses, because it wasn't quite what we wear now, but the glass, they were clear, but still the paper it wasn't the hard plastic. But Rodriguez, it's no coincidence. Rodriguez and Cameron work together. They like to push technology.
Yeah.
But even they weren't even putting out 3D Blu-rays for a minute. Like, I remember Jackass 3D.
Yeah, there you go.
Was pretty good. But when that came out on Blu-ray, it came with like the regular old glasses. But then by like 2010, they were putting out those things, or not everything, but like they were putting out a lot of stuff in 3D. Like, or didn't even get a 3D Blu-ray release initially when it came out.
Yeah,
or two.
But no, something special has to be done with these Avatar sequels, because who talks about Avatar? Even to bash it, nobody really talks about it.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's like, Star Wars and the Avengers, stuff you talk about through the years, even when it's not in theaters. And Disney movies, sitting at a table, like, man, 2015, man, that Avatar was awesome, wasn't it? You don't get that.
Nah.
It's to be honest, I only saw the movie twice. I saw it once in theaters, the 3D, it was awesome. And then I saw it on cable. And
with all the good stuff edited out.
Yeah, it's
alien sex scenes.
All the graphic Pandora nudity.
So no, I don't know if he has anything up his. Yep.
I'm still here.
Oh, there he is. But now, then when is the second one coming out? The Avatar 22, and they keep pushing it around. A year from
2045.
Yeah.
Until it gets pushed back again.
James Cameron is going on $14,000 a day deep sea expeditions and doing 18 avatars, and yet we still don't have a True Lies Blu-ray.
Exactly. Don't get me started on True Lies Blu-ray.
But that's my thing. But yeah, something is, and we speak of like anticipation of a movie. Is there any anticipation for these Avatar sequels?
No.
10 years after the fact?
The story, like, there's nobody clawing their eyes out, like, I need to know what happens next.
Yeah.
Like, there's people like me, like, I'll go see it regardless.
Yeah.
Like, it's whatever. And I'm almost more interested in just like, well, what's the latest development in this train wreck? Like, I'm like, what are they going to do now?
Right.
But there's nobody who's like, freaking out, like, I cannot wait to see what they're up to.
Right.
Pandora. Like, be cool. Like, I'm sure it'll be cool, but
how mad is Fox that they never got to collect from these movies, though? Like, all that money's going to Disney. Like, they need more money now.
Right. Yeah, that's my thoughts on Avatar. Is whenever it finally comes out, it'll be curious, and
by the time
we're gonna go see it, but is it going to be, us, like the movie buffs? Because James Cameron, back on the screen. And
dude, by the time we get Avatar 2, I'll have canceled the podcast and become a hobo.
It's a scratch and sniff. I'm telling you, they're going to bring it back.
For that next Rugrats movie.
Yeah, like you say, they have to do something. And like what Randy was saying, the movie theater has to turn into Pandora, and you have actual live actors in the theater and interacting with the screen. 3D is, like you said, definitely jumped the shark.
It's just not an event. Like, it's not a special thing. It's cool. Like, I'm never going to really bash 3D because I'm like, whatever.
Right.
It's cool. But it's just not something that people feel like, oh, I have to spend my money on this. Is that like, I look at my Hobbs and Shaw showings, and I was like, it's coming to IMAX, and it's like not, but it's got 3D showings. And I was like,
that's weird.
Like, I feel like I could skip Hobbs and Shaw in 3D, and I'll be okay. Like,
I got a question for y'all.
Experience.
Something that I think they thought was going to be big, and it just crashed and burned, is the home 3D televisions.
Never had one.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I had one until like a couple weeks ago. That was like my main TV, really, and it's like the backlight or something finally burned out on it. I didn't, but I will say, like, the 3D on a TV is better than a theater, typically.
And that's the crazy thing. That's why I was getting at. But it didn't, people, I don't know, weren't buying them. And they just...
I didn't sit and watch 3D movies, like, all the time. Like, after a while, it's just kind of like, I just want to watch them.
Yeah.
But I bought 3D combo packs, like, any chance I got, up until I started getting 4Ks, which they still do put out 3D.
No, they do. It's
People act like it's dead, and it's not dead. It's just like Disney quit doing it. Disney always put out the best.
Yeah. The main 3D Blu-rays I have are those MCU movies that only had slipcovers. And then like Dread and Sin City 2 that forced people to grab them.
Like, yeah, the MCU movies are like gorgeous, and like they used to put out, like, Disney used to put out 5-disc Blu-rays. And it was like 3D, your regular, your special
whole shebang.
DVD, and I was just like, so I always buy those. And once I finally I was buying those even before I had a 3D TV. Like, I was like, no, that's just too, for the price, that's just too much. Like,
right.
And
you'll have it whenever you do.
Definitely used it, but I'm kind of bummed now, actually, that it quit working, because I like to have it, like, just to be like, I have all these 3D movies, like, hey, baby, you want to watch a 3D? Like, that's how I talk. Want to watch Piranha 3D? And she'll be like, yeah.
Oh, man.
3 double D.
3 double D? She'll be like, I'm calling the cops.
Oh, man. But, yeah, that's my take on Avatar. It's just, whatever.
Cool. That was most disappointing. That was most surprising. Worst of the first half of the year. Best of the first half of the year. Most underrated. Go check out those underrated movies. That was some 3D discussion. Some off the cuff 3D discussion right quick. If y'all got any thoughts about any of that, if anybody out there want to share their dead 3D TV stories, drop a comment, hit a voice message. Nick will sympathize with you. In 2 weeks, I done put it out there. I want to talk to movie collectors, not necessarily Blu-ray collectors. If you still got VHS, I want to talk to people. Like, I'm gonna do something real fun in a couple weeks. Both you guys said y'all are down to be on it. When I get back, I'm gonna talk about something sports related. I might just break a sweat on camera. It's Rec League Podcast. Okay, man, that was our first half of 2019 recap. Man, definitely chime in, man. Comment, voice message, depending on how you getting your Rec League fix, and we'll respond. I'll respond on wax to those messages, man. But NBA free agency is literally just started, so I'm just gonna like run down what I've heard to I'm just gonna recap and report. I'm gonna spread the word on what I've heard, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't break news, man. I'm in my back bedroom in my apartment doing the pod right now. I don't have no sources. I'm not Adrian Wojnarowski. I'm not no Shams Kamara. So all I can do is read off ESPN, man. All I can do is spread the word on what I know. Boring deals like Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, they're staying with Milwaukee. Terrence Ross, and I think even Vucevic are staying in Orlando. But then you got like Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, DeAndre Jordan are going to Brooklyn. You got Kemba Walker going to Boston. Thaddeus Young going to the Bulls. You got no word officially on Klay Thompson or Kawhi Leonard yet. I think I heard Harrison Barnes staying in Sacramento, Kristaps Porzingis staying in Dallas, and then I think that, I mean, that's it for the first like 20 minutes that free agency has been underway. But man, the league is gonna be different, man. I'm hoping my Pacers can sign. The rumor is that my Pacers are gonna sign Ricky Rubio. I'm not excited about that move, but with Darren Collison just like abruptly announcing his retirement, man, like we need a point guard. But at the same time, like I wouldn't be mad if we just let Aaron Holiday just get the keys to the car and make the best out of it, man. Because no matter what, the Pacers' first couple months of the season are going to be a little rough. Because the rumor is that Victor Oladipo is not even going to be back on the court until like December, Christmas, or New Year's. So, I mean, like, I already dislike the Nets. I can tell y'all that. But like, let's not hand the Brooklyn Nets the Eastern Conference Championship already, because Kevin Durant's not playing next year. Kyrie Irving is basically gonna have to carry this team into the playoffs, and then if KD comes back healthy, he's still not gonna be as effective. I mean, he could like if he comes back and plays in the playoffs, he could re-aggravate his injury. If I'm the Nets and if I'm Kevin Durant, I'm not touching the playoffs next season. Like I'm chalking the playoffs up as a loss next season, and then come back in 2 years, and then you can pretty much give them at least the Eastern Conference Championship. Because I mean, depending on what the Lakers do, depending on what the Warriors do, Brooklyn's still not good enough to beat them. I mean, you need pieces. And what's his name? Jarrett Allen. He should still start over DeAndre Jordan. Like DeAndre Jordan is almost washed. I hope the Nets didn't give DeAndre a fat contract, because like he'll be effective, but he's not gonna like be his Clippers self. And then the Celtics. I'm curious to see, because I really like Kemba Walker, and I'm just curious to see how he meshes in Brad Stevens' system. I'm curious to see how he meshes in, with the other players, man. I think Terry Rozier, on that note, is going to go to Charlotte, and JJ Redick is going to go to New Orleans. I was hoping the Pacers could make a pull for JJ Redick too, but obviously that didn't happen. Bojan Bogdanovic is rumored to be talking to the Jazz and or maybe the Spurs. Nothing official. He's another guy I hope the Pacers do whatever they got to do to keep. But yeah, like the NBA has been over like 2 weeks. I miss basketball already. NFL is on the way. I was gonna get my dude Roberto to talk about the Stanley Cup Finals or the NHL Draft, which I mean it's a little late to talk about either one of those two. But I'll come back in like 2 weeks after like all the big name free agents are signed, and we'll react. Like we'll react to official deals, because like ink will be dry by that time, and hopefully I can get somebody to jump in with me and actually talk about what's gonna happen, like what the league is gonna be, because by then we'll know where Kawhi Leonard went. We'll know if the Pacers signed, re-signed anybody. We already let that go. So we got to keep Bogey, man. We got to keep Bogey, because I don't know. We might be a road playoff team if we don't do something to stay, in the mix, man. Because Boston's making moves, Brooklyn's making moves, and the Pacers, as usual, are just there. When I come back, man, I got some bars, and then that's gonna wrap up this episode. Rec League podcast, man. Yo, up in it, bro. These rhymes is a breeze. Do what I put. God fucking damn it. Up in it, bro. These rhymes is a breeze. They itching. Do they got fleas or are they just fiends? Do what I please. You better bow down on both knees. Broke motherfuckers Urkel like, got any cheese? Did I do that? Spew that? New raps, these dudes Midwest autumn pussy. Cool cats. Only in my stable do they kick rhymes, they spew facts. They can only reply, true that. Oh, we go in there, yo, weak bars don't compare. Flow got the ocean, going scared. On tippy toes, these hoes exposed. See-through clothes, might as well be going bare. Turtle power raps, don't make me expose a hair. Tortoise, don't you ever ignore this. Or gain entry into the rec league fortress. Eating weak-ass rappers, back while I smorgasbord this. Get the fuck out my pockets, I can afford this. Lyrics enormous, I spit fire and torch this. They hate so much, they treat it like I'm Shrek and get the torches. Got something to say? I think I'm done today. This is the part where you run away.